The ancient Egyptian god Anubis, associated with mummification and the afterlife, personifies humanity's eternal interest in death and the afterlife. Anubis, known for his human body and jackal head, played a crucial role in aiding individuals on their journey to the afterlife and overseeing the embalming process.
They cannot hurt him, for he wears the bracelet of Anubis.
This video examines how ideas about death and the afterlife have changed and remained consistent from ancient Egyptian times to the present. It also highlights the universality and development of these concepts by contrasting different cultural perspectives on morality and the afterlife. Ancient Egyptian religion regarded Anubis as the guardian of the dead, escorting them safely to the underworld. His significance in the mummification process originated from the belief that he was responsible for preserving the body, ensuring its integrity for the afterlife.
Anubis, come forth.
He played a key role in the weighing of the heart ritual, which involved weighing the deceased's heart against Ma'at's feather, the goddess of justice and truth. This ceremony determined whether the spirit deserved to go to the hereafter. The soul would enter the field of reeds, an eternal paradise, if the heart was lighter than the feather. If it were more substantial, Amit, a demonic being with lion, hippopotamus, and crocodile body parts, would eat it, because the Egyptians thought that one's deeds in the mortal world had immediate implications in the realm of the dead. This event emphasizes the necessity of leading a good life. Failure meant disappearance and obliteration.
And let's be clear, this is eternal judgment, what we're talking about.
Nobility and slaves, regardless of their social status during life, faced the same judgment and consequences upon death. The complex burial customs of the Egyptians, such as mummification and the utilization of tombs stocked with gifts for the afterlife, demonstrated their belief in an afterlife. People saw these customs as crucial for ensuring the deceased's secure transition and happiness in the afterlife, elevating them beyond mere rituals. The fundamental concept of honoring and preparing the deceased for the hereafter endures, despite the majesty of ancient Egyptian burial customs having vanished. Numerous civilizations continue to value body preservation, as evidenced by modern embalming techniques.
You know how much a funeral costs these days?
No. But customs have also changed a great deal. Funeral traditions now vary greatly, ranging from more conventional practices like cremations and traditional burials to more modern options like green burials and even space burials. Though the details vary, the concept of the soul's journey after death is universal except in atheist beliefs. For instance, Christianity judges and assigns a person's soul to either heaven or hell based on their moral behavior during their lifetime. This is similar to the judgment of ancient Egypt, although it emphasizes faith and divine favor more.
You ain't trying to make me believe in reincarnation or something, are you?
On the other hand, Hinduism strongly emphasizes reincarnation and karma, the belief that a person's past deeds determine their future existence. This idea reflects both a shift in the afterlife notion and a persistent conviction in the moral implications of death. Different people have different beliefs about the afterlife today, and these opinions frequently combine traditional beliefs with contemporary understandings. Views on the afterlife might range from skepticism to individualized spiritual beliefs in secular countries. People frequently view the idea of a hereafter through the perspective of personal spirituality, rather than through the prism of institutional religion. The concept of the afterlife is nevertheless central to many modern religious situations. In Islam, for example, the Day of Judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, is the resurrection of the dead and their judgment by Allah, which results in either punishment in hell or eternal life in paradise. This shows that, despite differences in theological details, beliefs about an ultimate judgment and moral reward are consistent with those of ancient Egypt. Every culture interprets morality and the afterlife differently, yet certain themes tend to recur. The afterlife in classical Greek mythology began as a dismal existence in the underworld and developed into a more moralistic vision featuring Tartarus for the wicked and Elysian fields for the righteous. In Norse mythology, warriors who died in battle received Valhalla as a reward, while those who received dishonor met less fortunate ends.
They bid me take my place among them in the halls of Valhalla, where the brave may live forever.
Buddhism and Hinduism, two Eastern traditions, introduce the concept of samsara, or the karma-influenced cycle of death and rebirth. Since moral behavior here has a direct bearing on subsequent incarnations, ethical behavior is crucial to ending the cycle and reaching enlightenment, also known as moksha or nirvana. Furthermore, today's understanding of morality and the afterlife has undergone numerous changes. While modern beliefs frequently emphasize individual actions and intentions, The ancient Egyptians placed tremendous emphasis on following particular rites and procedures to ensure a pleasant afterlife. In many spiritual traditions, the emphasis has shifted from merely adhering to rituals to living an upright and compassionate life. In contrast to the strict system of divine judgment prevalent in ancient Egypt, modern views on the afterlife frequently encompass a broader spectrum of beliefs. Ideas of reincarnation, ancestor spirits, and near-death experiences provide alternative explanations for what happens after death. Furthermore, scientific knowledge frequently shapes secular perspectives that emphasize the finality of death and emphasize the importance of living a purposeful life while on this earth. These varied viewpoints highlight a common human concern with morality, justice, and the afterlife. A positive afterlife and the consequences of virtuous deeds are themes that cultures throughout time and space address, whether through the lens of Anubis, the Christian Last Judgment, or the karmic cycle. Anubis, a representation of death and the afterlife in ancient Egyptian beliefs, offers an interesting prism through which to examine the evolution and continuity of spiritual activities, even though certain religious practices and rites have changed. Morality, judgment, and the afterlife continue to be fundamental human concerns. By contrasting these antiquated ideas with modern and multicultural viewpoints, we are able to recognize diversity as well as our common humanity in our search for the meaning of life after death.